Hello, ladies and goldfish. This is Deadeye Impact, and I am bringing you a Call of Duty Black Ops gameplay. You guys are like, what? This game is like a year old. This game is so bad. Well, I didn't do too bad in this gameplay. I'm not gonna tell you what I went because I'm keeping that a secret. I mean, I hate when people use those spoilers, like, oh yeah, this is a 29 in one gameplay, I got a Moab. I like surprising people, you know? Like, bam! Here it is. You obviously know this is a decent gameplay, because why else would I upload a moderately okay gameplay to YouTube? So, basically, what I'm gonna be talking about is just, you know, let's have story time. I didn't think about talking about making story time, but let's do that. So I'm trying to think of a good story. Alright, so I was hanging with a couple of my friends, and it was winter. It was 2 years ago, because this year there wasn't a lot of snow. So across the street, my neighbors, they have this giant hill, so it's wicked big, and then behind it is like the most woodsy place you can ever think of. It's like a rainforest jungle thing with the giant trees and all that. So we're like taking our we take our sleds, and we're like, oh yeah, I'm a boss, and then we just slide down, and it's like, yeah. And so we decide to go deeper into the woods. And so we were just going down there. We were kind of like sliding down the extreme ones. Like there was like a 75-foot like drop or something, and it's just insane. Attempting to go down that, and so what ended up happening? We were like really deep in, almost to like the other neighborhood, and then. So there was one topple, there was a tree that fell over apparently, because we had a little, what do you call it, a storm down here, and one of the giant trees fell over, and so, we were just there. It fell against another tree, so that it was still like propped up at like a 45-degree angle. And then what happened was I was like, oh my god, I can definitely climb this. And so I take my sled, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just going up. I'm all like, yeah. And I'm about 3/4 the way like to the top of the tree, like to the next tree. And all of a sudden, like, my foot slips. And at this point, I'm a good like 30 feet like above the snow. And I have the tree. I have like a tree branch in one hand, and then my sled in the other. And I'm just like holding on for dear life. I was like, guys, and they were like way ahead of me, and like they weren't even paying attention. I was like, guys, come back, need help. And so they turn around because they're like, what is that? And then they're like, oh crap, that's Nick. And then I'm like, what the hell, guys, come on, come help me. And then so my friend Nate, he's like, no, dude, you can make the fall, take one for the team. So what happens, I was like, I took this into perspective. I'm like, I'm gonna land in snow, it's gonna be alright. There's no trees for a couple feet when I land. So I'm like, alright. And so I dropped the sled, which I really should not have done. So I dropped the sled, and I'm still falling, and I'm falling slower than my sled for some reason. And so what happens is I land on my sled, like my stomach, just like I do a belly flop on the sled, and then I end up going down like that hill, just like at least 20 miles an hour. And after a 30-foot drop, after a 30-foot drop, that's a lot of that's just intense. I mean, you're just going like, oh my god. So what happens was I hit the sled. I'm just going down, and then I I hit a tree. And what happens is the tree, it wasn't like a very strong tree either. It was like a weak tree, but those are the worst sometimes, because this one bent over and it gave like no support because like the sled just went over it. And so when the sled went over it, I was like, oh god, what's gonna happen, what's gonna happen? And then there was this thick tree, a foot, like a whole foot thick, yeah, a foot thick, I guess you could say. And I just go like shoulder first at that. I do like a front flip into the snow, and I mean at this point my friends are like watching this whole thing go down, and they're like, dude, is he alive? Did he die? like this is what's going through their mind. It's like, oh my god, what happened? And then but no, my shoulder hurt. That was really it. And then my insult to injury, when we were walking up, I was like, oh my god, my arm hurts. And then I just fall on my face. I was like, oh god. And I just trip. I slide down this extremely slippery edge, and at this point I'm like done. I'm like, it's too cold, it's freezing, my face is frozen, I'm injured, I'm wounded, and yeah, so basically yeah, I mean, it was probably the most exciting thing I've done all that winter. I mean, normally, because I have some sort of bad circulation in my hands, and like my hands and feet, and so if I'm outside for at least a half an hour, like my hands I cannot feel them, like they just go away. It's bad. I cannot stay outside for long periods of time without like being like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. My hands are gonna freeze off, they're gonna die. Hands are going to perish. But yeah, it's pretty bad. So I was the cherry on the ice cream, or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, so basically that's my story. It's a little story time. Yeah. And so basically, what I'm going to talk about in this game, I'm going to go back to talking about this game. I get a set of dogs, I get my chopper gunner, and then I end up getting a care package. I don't have enough time to get another chopper gunner, but I could. If I really pushed, I could get the chopper gunner, but I wouldn't have able to been time to call it in, and then I end up throwing down the care package, and then you'll see what happens. So yeah, this has been Deadeye Impact, and I guess I'll be seeing you guys later. Peace. Bye. Adios. See you later. Ciao.
Bravo secure. Heads up, enemy RCXD. Losing Alpha. Huey ready for deployment. Our spy plane's in the air. Huey on the way. Mission accomplished. Good work.